You've got problems? I've got solutions. All right, we are live on the Coach Eli television network. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Late Night with Coach Eli edition. Glad you could all join me here today on this very, very early Thursday morning. It is Thursday, September 9th, 2021, the day this live stream is happening live. But if you're watching on the replay, you're going to want to watch the whole thing through. I have a ton of great information to share here tonight, especially one particular aspect regarding what China is doing to help the men in their country, because the majority of their men are a certain way, as are many of the men here in the U.S. as well. If you've been following me for a while, you can probably put two and two together. I have a very interesting article to share and also put my own spin on it, and have an updated dating story to also share, and have a couple of great Reddit postings to share. We're going to be here for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I was going to do this stream earlier, but a lot of these came up. Wait till later today or tomorrow to do it, so I'm doing it now. But before we get to it, let me first of all make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it absolutely has. Let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure it's rolling smoothly. And it is. Hopefully there are going to be no issues with the live streaming server tonight like there were yesterday. Facebook is rolling well, and so is the live. Did we already have a disconnect? We already had a disconnect. Oh my God. This is just like, it's been very, very weird lately. I don't know. It's weird. Also, like, my screen is all stuttery. Like, you can see me stuttering there. I'm beginning to believe that this is an issue with open broadcast software, and it's going to take an update to fix it. But we're going to continue moving forward. I want to wait until this clears up here. Are we back to being smooth again? Yeah, we're back to being smooth. Yeah, that's weird. I got a lot of skipped frames through OBS, and I think we're okay now. I think we are okay. I'll do some more research on this later on. But hey, if it gets too bad to the point of where there are a lot of disconnects, I'll just have to re-upload the backup copy after the show ends. But anyway, all right, let's get right to it because I have a lot to go over. The topic of today's show is, if it's meant to be, it will be. Live by this phrase for success. One more time. If it's meant to be, it will be. Live by this phrase for success. Now, I know many of you out there have now the back end of YouTube is saying YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. I think it's a false positive because there was a temporary glitch through OBS, and I think it has sorted itself out. Seems to be running okay for now, but we'll see what happens. So many of you have heard the phrase, if it's meant to be, it will be. And some of you are like, I don't believe in those phrases. I don't believe in those goody-goody phrases. You know, people just say those things to try and cheer you up and make you feel better, but that's not going to change my life. My life sucks. I don't know what it's going to take for me to turn my life around. Well, it's one thing. It's one thing that's going to turn your life around, and that is your attitude and how you see things, right? If you can understand what I share with you here tonight regarding if it's meant to be, it will be. You're going to be able to let things go that didn't pan out for you because it just wasn't meant to be, right? Especially in the dating world, which is where I primarily focus my content at, because that's what most people need help with nowadays. But it can apply to all aspects of life. If you're trying to get a certain type of job, make a certain amount of money, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish in life. If it was meant to be, if it was in the cards, if it was in the stars for you to have that, then you would have already received it, or you'll get it eventually. And that's what people don't understand. There have been many times where I felt like no matter what I do, I can't move my YouTube channel forward or this business, right? I have those moments all the time, right? And that's perfectly normal to feel that way. But I also know that if I keep moving forward, if it's meant to be, it will happen. Now, at some point, if it starts to affect my life in other ways, for example, if I'm not able to sustain it monetarily and it affects, me from paying my bills and other things like that, I'll have to look at it more closely. But I'm not at that point, at least not now. I understand that if it's meant to be, it will be. But just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it wasn't meant to be. It just means the timing hasn't been right yet, right? And that's another thing I want to talk about as well, is timing. Because timing is everything, folks. Timing is everything, right? Have you ever, if you're a guy, have you ever just met like a really cute, decent, down-to-earth woman and the timing was right and it just flowed? She was really into you and she shared or she showed a lot of interest, right? And she made it easy for you to, get with her and stay with her, right? That's because the timing was right for both you and for her, right? But sometimes, even if people are compatible, the timing isn't right and it just doesn't happen, right? That's why I always say, and many other coaches say, right? When you're out there in the dating world, there is some skill involved to communicating with people and for guys to quote unquote pick up girls. I don't like to call it picking up girls. I call it, getting a girlfriend, right? There's some skill to that, but there's also a bit of luck involved as well. And the bit of luck involved is the timing, right? So it has to all align within the stars, like they say, right? Figuratively speaking, or maybe literally, right? You have to know how to handle yourself, how to carry yourself. If you're a guy, you have to know how to approach women and speak with women. That's the first thing, right? But even if you do everything right, if the timing isn't right for her, even though she may have some attraction for you, it just won't work out, right? So you folks have to understand that. Things that are meant to be, will just be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, right? I think I've drilled that into the ground. All right, give me just a second here. I'm hoping the streaming server is going to be cool for the rest of the show. It looks like it's rolling smoothly for right now. So, anyway, I think how I'm going to start off this show is I have a dating story I'm going to share regarding a woman I'm going to be meeting later this evening. It's after midnight. It is Thursday, September 9th. I'm going to be meeting this woman later tonight, but I'm going to share with you folks how I got there. And I'm going to share with you folks how the communication has been with this woman and how I feel there is a very good chance that this has potential because the timing is right. And I carried myself really well. And she carried herself really well. We also talked by phone earlier last night. Lord Gaelick's in the house. The Dark Lord has arrived. Welcome, Lord Gaelick. Haven't seen you in a while, bro. How you doing, man? How are you doing, man? I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Thank you, bro, for being here. Thank you, Lord Gaelic. Lots of love for you, bro. I'm going to be doing some panel shows really soon again. I've just been focusing on a bunch of solo stuff lately, man. But it's great to see you here, man. Great to see you here. Hope your Labor Day weekend was well, man, and you and your family are doing well, and everybody's healthy and safe. During these trying times of the pandemic. But thank you, bro. So I'm going to be sharing that story here during the first part of the show. But before I get to that, I'm going to discuss something that's probably a little bit off topic, but it still involves, men. And this is what primarily affects men from finding true love and happiness nowadays. Or if they get with a woman, this is what affects men by women taking advantage of these types of men. And I'm just gonna switch on over to the browser screen right now and get right to this. Okay. This is from the AP News. And if I turn off the chat for a second here, you'll see the title, China bans men it sees as not masculine enough from TV. China bans men it sees as not masculine enough from TV. This was written by Joe McDonald, September 2nd, 2021. Let me turn on the chat again here. Lord Gaelic says, how have you been? I've been doing quite well, bro. I've had my moments every now and then, Lord Gaelic. But doing all right, bro. Doing all right, bro. Great to see you're still doing okay. No, we haven't touched base in a while. I believe you're still a part of the moderator chat behind the scenes. I don't know if you've noticed, Lord Gaelic, everything is transitioning from Google Hangouts to Hangouts chat, or Google Chat. Sorry, it's Google Chat, right? Google Chat and Meet, right? So it's the same thing. If you start using Google Chat, you download the app on your phone, or you log into Google Chat from the same Google account you've used Hangouts on, everything automatically transfers over. So a lot of people were worried when Google announced they're getting rid of Hangouts and Hangouts Chat, that we're going to have to start over. No, everything automatically carries over, which is great. So I'll be in touch with you behind the scenes, bro, and we'll make something happen soon. But yeah. So let's get into this here. This is interesting, okay? Very interesting. Beijing, AP. China's government banned effeminate men on TV and told broadcasters Thursday to promote revolutionary culture, broadening a campaign to tighten control over business and society and enforce official morality. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. The president of China, I had to look up how to pronounce his name earlier tonight, and I'm probably still going to butcher it. President Xi Jinping. President Xi Jinping has called for a national rejuvenation with tighter Communist Party control of business, education, culture, and religion. Companies and the public are under increasing pressure to align with its vision for a more powerful China and healthier society. They're beginning to realize in China that these effeminate men are hurting their are hurting everything, right? Because the focus globally has gone to empowering women for the last 55 years, right? Since women were liberated. And China's beginning to realize, hey, men have been left behind. We're not supporting our men. We're not empowering our men in the same ways we've empowered women in the modern world. And it's creating issues, right? Right? The party has reduced children's access to online games and is trying to discourage what it sees as unhealthy attention to celebrities. Right. What do these guys do nowadays? Because they can't get a girlfriend because they're being raised to be more effeminate or exude more feminine energy than masculine energy. because they can't get women, right? Because they're not behaving like real strong men. They resort to playing video games to, kill their free time and kill the blues during their free time, right? Lord Gaelic says, masculine Chinese man. Lord Gaelic, the president of China has realized there's an issue with men being effeminate in their country. Lord Gaelic, excuse me. Lord Gaelic, we have that same issue here in the U.S., right? But do you think our government's going to do anything about it, bro? Especially when empowering women is so much more profitable because women are more impulsive buyers than men are, right, Lord Gaelic? Lord Gaelic, I'm going to get a panel soon with you and some other people, and we're going to discuss this. And you can be as raw as you want, bro, because I'll just move it over to Coach Eli too. We'll make it happen, bro, because this is something that I know you have lots of opinions on. It's a great topic, man. It's a great topic. Masculine Chinese man. No disrespect. God, you're killing me, man. and you got me while I'm live, bro, so I can't edit this at all, right? I got to keep moving forward, right? Also, the mainstream media, TV, like in the 90s and beyond, is shaming men. Like Everybody Loves Raymond, right? Right? They portrayed the women as the strong ones in the household, like the leaders, right? And the man is the one that's doing the stuff the women used to do, right? And then they're portraying that, hey, if your wife's not happy with you, then, you get her flowers and you do all of these overly nice things, and that's going to fix your issues. Maybe back in the days of traditionalism, before women were liberated, that would fix the issue. But nowadays, that would just annoy the woman more. So women are looking up to men for their strength, not their weakness, right? Broadcasters must resolutely put an end to sissy men and other abnormal aesthetics, the National Radio and TV Administration said, using an insulting slang term for effeminate men. I'm not going to read that because I don't even know what it means. Or literally, girly guns. So far, I agree. I don't really have a whole lot to add to this, man. This is hilarious, man. Lord Gaelic says, nope, the effeminate side runs America. They do, brother. They do. And our government's not going to do anything about it. Who knows? Unless China sets a trend here, bro. Who knows, man? I just thought this was a very interesting article. That reflects official concern that Chinese pop stars influenced by the sleek, fashionable look of some South Korean and Japanese singers and actors are failing to encourage China's young men to be masculine enough. Because we focused all the energy on empowering and liberating and making women independent, right? And we've forgotten about men, right? That's what's happened. Not only here in the U.S., but globally. Broadcasters should avoid promoting vulgar internet celebrities and admiration of wealth and celebrity, the regulator said. Instead, programs should vigorously promote excellent Chinese traditional culture, revolutionary culture, and advanced socialist culture. I'm not sure about advanced socialist culture because that's what's causing all this stuff, right? It's all of this progressive stuff that's been causing all this. But anyway, let's see what's said further on here. Xi's government, the president, also is tightening control over Chinese internet industries. I don't think they should censor the internet. Censorship is not good, right? Now, if people are using hate speech and stuff like that, I can understand it. But if people have an opinion on stuff, whether the government agrees with it or not, that's a violation of freedom of speech, at least here in the U.S. Now, I don't know about China's freedom of speech, laws or amendments or whatever, right? But if it's anything like ours here, that's a violation of freedom of speech. Tightening control over Chinese internet industries. They're trying to do that everywhere, including here in the U.S. to a certain extent. But what people don't realize here in the U.S., even though people think they're getting silenced, they're really not. A lot of people get away with saying a lot of stuff on the internet, including out here on YouTube. It has launched anti-monopoly data security and other enforcement actions at companies including games and social media provider Tencent Holding and e-commerce giant Alibaba Group. Alibaba's huge. That the ruling party worries are too big and independent. Okay, nothing to add to that. Let's continue. Rules that took effect Wednesday limit anyone under 18 to 3 hours per week of online games and prohibit play on school days. To be honest with you, I actually like that. Even though, it's government coming in to control what we can and can't do, right? But they're seeing a bigger underlying issue. A lot of these guys, instead of going out and socializing with women and just getting out there and being social and being masculine, they're giving up on their manhood and they're just playing video games, right? All day, every day to cure the blues, right? To mask the blues, to mask the underlying issue, right? Game developers already were required to submit new titles for government approval before they could be released. Officials have called on them to add nationalistic themes. Okay. The party is also tightening control over celebrities. That's a good one right there, right? It's not even the celebrities. It's what the directors, the writers, the executives, etc., are forcing the celebrities to do as part of their content, right? So it's not just the celebrities. It's what they're told to do and paid to do. And here in the U.S., what you see in the mainstream media, especially through these sitcoms and all these other shows, right? All they do is they shame men and they make the women look like they're the leaders nowadays, right? And it's not even about, men wanting to be the leaders anymore. Men just want to be truly equal, right? Men just want to be truly equal, right? And it's not that way. It's flipped. It's gone from men being the leaders and women being submissive, right? To women now being the leaders and men being submissive. It's crazy. Crazy. Broadcasters should avoid performers who violate public order or have lost morality, the regulator said. Programs about the children of celebrities are also banned. Okay. Interesting. On Saturday, microblog platform Weibo Corp suspended thousands of accounts for fan clubs and entertainment news. A popular actress, Zhao Wei, has disappeared from streaming platforms without explanation. Well, somebody cracked down on this actress. I like how they call her actress, or he calls her actress, even though nowadays, here in the U.S., they don't even call actresses anymore. They call them actors. They call both men and women actors, right? What's wrong with calling a woman an actress? It's a female actor. That's not discrimination, but now they've changed it to one word to describe both male and female actors. They just call them actors, right? I like seeing the fact that this guy put a popular actress here. That was cool. Her name has been removed from credits of movies and TV programs. Well, why remove what's already been done? Why not just make the change and leave the history there? So this woman creates all this content, does all this work, and because the government is trying to make this radical change here, they want to eliminate everything she's done in the past. I don't agree with that at all. Start making the change now, but leave the history there. Wow. Wow. Thursday's order told broadcasters to limit pay for performers and to avoid contract terms that might help them evade taxes. Well, I would agree with that if it includes those women that go out there and, like on OnlyFans and show a lot of skin, if you know what I mean, right? I honestly think they should ban those platforms. I think if we're going to have the porn industry, I think the porn industry should be done in a very professional environment only. And I think you need to regulate it because right now it's really not regulated. It's really not regulated. I honestly think it should be regulated. The online version as well. Okay, I believe in the actual porn industry. The non-internet version of porn. Now all porn's on the internet, but initially you used to have to buy DVDs and VHS tapes and all that stuff. That actual Hollywood porn industry is regulated. The internet is not, and I think it should. And I honestly think that if women are going to be able to go onto sites like OnlyFans and be able to do this type of work and make lots of money at the expense of thirsty beta males or effeminate men like China's trying to fix here, take advantage of them, I think these women should be taxed at a very high bracket. I think the pornography or X-rated video industry online should be taxed very heavily, like 40 or 50%. Now, I know that's going to sound kind of harsh, me saying that, but in all honesty, it's one of those industries that, in my opinion, I feel women are exploiting these effeminate men because these guys, these guys just can't get a woman because of the way they were raised and how society has made them to be, right? They have no confidence, so they have to go and pay on these sites where the women lead these guys to believe that if they keep paying them money, one day that woman's going to meet with that guy in person and be with her forever. It's just not right. Another actress, Zhang Shuang, was fined 299 million yen, 46 million US, last week on tax evasion charges in a warning to celebrities to be positive role models. You know what? Probably serves her right, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what she was doing. Maybe if she was making that kind of money, she was probably doing something, X-rated, adult rated, right? And that is that. I thought that was an interesting article to share. China bans men it sees as not masculine enough from TV. Yeah. They don't want that going out there, right? It's again, I've seen this time and time again happen in the U.S. or in other countries as well too, right? You have a bunch of women, attractive young women in their late teens and early 20s, adults, right, over 18 or older, that find a quick and easy way to make a ton of money, more than any job they would have while they go through college, right? By exploiting the thirsty beta male market of these effeminate men that are easily manipulated, and they're very vulnerable because they're effeminate men. It's just not right. I'm glad China's doing something about it. I agree with most of what was said in this article. And it'd be nice to see the U.S. actually step in and say, hey, look, we've left our men behind. It's great that women have been empowered, they've been liberated, they're independent, but we have lost focus on men. Now, we need to start focusing on men again, right? What would happen here in the U.S. if they did that? The women would go berserk. It would create another world war probably, right? Wow. Wow. All right. Let me go back to full screen. And before I take my first break here, we are at 29 minutes. It looks like the server only had one glitch at the beginning, and we're rolling smoothly right now. I'm going to share a story right now regarding the topic. You know, if it's meant to be, it'll be, right? And it's regarding a woman that I connected with on one of the dating apps I used a couple days ago. And I read part of the story the other day on the stream, but I'm going to read it again because I want you folks to be able to start to recognize. I want you guys, and even you gals too, but this is more so for the guys because women understand this better than men, and women have more options than men. I want you guys to better understand when you're in a situation like this, to understand what it means. And this is something that if you have a woman like this is something that you should focus on, even if you're talking to other women, right? This is one you should focus on. So let me get to it here. And let me just share the communication again with this woman. All right. So I sent her a message. She gets back to me. She says, hello, let's talk more. I have to work this weekend. My days off are usually Tuesday and Wednesday. Because I added in my standard message I sent to all women, also, if you are around this weekend, maybe we can talk by phone a bit and meet up for a hike or walk. I look forward to your response. Sincerely, Eli. So after she got back to me and said, hello, let's talk more. I have to work this weekend. My days off are usually Tuesday and Wednesday. I said, and I'm going to substitute ma'am instead of her name to protect the supposed innocent, like I always say. Did you get a chance to read my entire profile? And what were your thoughts? Also, since you are off today and tomorrow, do you have time to talk by phone and better get to know each other? If so, please send me your number and I'll text you to arrange our call. I hope you're having a nice night. She wrote back and said, I have appointments tomorrow and will be with my mom for dinner, but I don't mind texting. Full disclosure, when I'm working, I don't check or respond till I am at home. I'm rereading the part I shared the other day on one of the other streams because I want you to see what this woman did. Okay? I wrote, no problem. What's your number? And we'll go from there. Then she gets back to me and says, just reading your profile. Do you have issues with a woman that is secure in her career? I am woman. Hear me roar. I didn't let it faze me because I'm a man. I'm not an effeminate man. But I knew what she meant by that, right? Doesn't mean she's a bad woman. Doesn't mean she's a radical feminist. So I wrote back and I said, no, why would I have a problem with that? Why would I have a problem with a woman working, right? I'm just looking for a woman that wants to enjoy life during her spare time with a good man and can balance her work and personal life. My main concern is not the fact that a woman is working. Is she able to balance her work and her personal life to fit a guy in for a relationship, right? Some women are online seeking validation, right? And they have no intention of meeting. I'm trying to find that out. Is that you, or do you really want something? Are you willing to make the effort to balance in a good guy like myself, right? Or am I wasting my time, right? I furthermore wrote, maybe you've come across some guys that create a power struggle. That's a possibility, but any guy that creates a power struggle is an insecure man that's projecting and is probably pretty arrogant, right? Maybe he's not a sissy, but he's arrogant, and he's against women being able to have equal rights nowadays. That's not a good guy, in my opinion. I am not about that. I'm about respecting each other equally. Makes sense? So she gets back to me and says, oh, okay, that's good. I take pride in my work and I'm very motivated. Well, that's great. I do too, man. That's wonderful. I wrote, ma'am, I'm a good guy, but I'm a real man that just wants to be with a real woman. A woman that will let me take her on an amazing journey. I'm a big romantic and love traveling with a special lady. She gets back to me and says, my number is, she gave me her number, and she wrote, I'm going to be going to sleep soon, so if I don't respond, please don't be offended. And like I mentioned on the stream, I mentioned this first part the other day, I was going to text her the next day. And this woman, she's pretty hot. She's 46 years old. She's like about a year and a half younger than me. She's 46 years old. And this woman, I mean, she's hot, but she seems to be a decent woman. right? I wrote back and I said, ma'am, I'll text you tomorrow, not tonight. You've been dealing with some very thirsty and needy men, haven't you? I understand, I wrote. That's not me. I'm cool and down to earth. Just wait and see. Have a great night, sweet lady, and I'll reach out to you tomorrow. She's like, looking forward to that. Then I wrote, good night and sleep well, right? So I was busy throughout the day yesterday, right? And I didn't get a chance to get back to her until like after 5. I still had not sent her a message or texted her, right? And remember what she said. She said, full disclosure, when I'm working, I don't check or respond till I am home. Unless you really like the guy and you can't get him off your mind, ma'am, and it's driving you crazy why he hasn't texted you yet when he said he would text you the previous night, and now it's after 5 p.m., you're at work and you're like, did this guy forget about me? Be patient, guys. So what did she do? This is the new part here you folks haven't heard yet. At 5:16 p.m., I had not texted her yet, right? I have her number. I haven't texted her. She's hot. And she seems cool, right? But I value myself and my time too, right? And if it's meant to be, it will be, right? Like the topic states, right? Right? She goes, how are you doing today? 5:16 p.m., right? So she broke her own rules. She broke her own rules where she said, full disclosure, when I'm working, I don't check or respond till I'm at home. Ma'am, you broke your own rules for me. Ma'am, that sent me a clear signal of how interested you are. This woman has a high level of interest, right? She thought of me out of the blue. I was busy doing my thing, being a man, focusing on my purpose, right? My work and all that stuff, right? And other things in my life, right? I wrote back like half an hour or so later. I'm doing great. And how are you today, ma'am? I'll text you within the next hour. It's been an unusual, very busy day. She's like, me too. I'm good. Still working. She's messaging me through this dating app because I have her number and I haven't texted her actual phone yet, right? She's breaking her own rules and having a conversation with me, right? Why? Because I was patient. I wasn't needy. Didn't come off needy, weak, desperate, or insecure. I was just being cool, right? I'm busy doing my thing. I like you, and we'll see where it goes. But you're not my purpose, ma'am. My purpose is deep within me. My purpose is my coaching business, and what makes me myself, right? And she loved it. Now, I sent her a text. Let's go to the text. Or the texting, right? So, 5:56 p.m. before I went on my walk at the park earlier. Good Wednesday evening, ma'am. It is Eli from the dating app. Are you done with work for the day or are you still working? Let me know when you get a moment and we'll figure out a time to talk by phone soon. She got back to me like 20 minutes later from work again. Unfortunately, I work till 9 tonight, but we'll be able to talk after that. This woman's been really nice to me, right? I'm thinking to myself, what's so unfortunate about working? You got to work to pay your bills, right? But she's being really nice, right? Why? Because she has a high level of interest, right? I wrote back, it is not unfortunate that you work until 9, but thanks for letting me know. Great communication. How late will you be up after you get home? Let me know when you get a moment and we'll make it happen. Your attitude is very refreshing to me, and so is your communication style. Thank you. Great, right? She wrote back 9 minutes later from work again. No worries. I don't usually work this late, but having some issues caused me to stay. I'll probably be up till 11 or so. I wrote back, no worries on my end as well, ma'am. I can tell you are a good woman seeking an understanding man. I totally get where you are coming from, but I appreciate your great communication. Women want to be validated. Now, it's okay to validate them on great communication and all that. Just don't overly validate their looks and stuff like that, right? Because then that makes you come off thirsty, right? Let's plan on talking around 10 p.m. I may be available a little sooner. I will text you between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. before I call you to make sure you are ready. For now, enjoy this great and hot day, and I look forward to hearing your voice soon. She got back to me. Sounds great, right? At 8:43 p.m., I was still working on some other things. I wrote, hey, ma'am, I'm just wrapping up my day. I'll call you between 9:45 and 10 p.m., and I'll text you to give you a heads up right before I call. Looking forward to speaking with you. She's like, no problem. Great. At 9:55 p.m., I wrote, ready for my call? A couple minutes later, sure. I got on the phone with this woman, and we're talking, right? We had a great conversation. I found out she comes from a good family. That her family lives in the Central Valley area of California. She lives about an hour south from where I live, like, south of San Jose. You know the Bay Area? She lives a little bit south. Not a problem. Not too far at all. But her family lives about another couple hours from there in the Central Valley area. And she goes, yes, her mom and dad are still happily married. They've been together for like 50-something years. That was a great thing to hear, right? And they have like, a large property and a farm or something like that. So they're pretty well-to-do, right? So she comes from a good family. I come from a good family, right? And that spoke mountains to me, right? Because guys and gals, like I've always said in the past, you want to ask, the woman, do you have any family around? Your parents still around? You want to try to, subtly find out if her parents are still married or if she comes from a broken household or something, right? This woman's parents are still alive and they're still around and they're happily married. Great, right? And the more and more we started talking, she started sharing experiences with some guys she's dated and stuff, right? And I'll tell you what this woman said she's tired of the most. She's tired of she even told me, she goes, I love the word you used. I feel the same way about these guys. She goes, I'm tired of thirsty men. I was dating this one guy for several years, and he was a really good guy, and he took care of me, right? She didn't say took care of me, but he was just kind of like an unmotivated, lazy type of guy. And, he's working a job where he's only making $18 an hour. And I just didn't see a future with it. Now, many of you guys out there are going to say, oh, she's looking at the income. She's looking for a provider. No, this woman works. She makes her own money. But living in Northern California, now, I guess the city she lives in, I don't know if I'd consider it part of the Bay Area, but it's still pretty close to the Bay Area. And it's a little bit cheaper to live where she lives, but not much, right? So $18 an hour is not a lot of money living in the Bay Area or living anywhere near the Bay Area, right? And she said this guy was like 46 years old. What's up, Donnie? Donnie, if that's you, hang around, bro. I'll remoderate you. I want to make sure that is you, brother. I've always been subscribed to you. I'm going to mod you from the back end, Donnie. Donnie, we're going to work together on some stuff, bro, finally, after all these years, bro. After all these years, man. All right, Donnie, go ahead and type something in the chat. It is you, bro, but I don't mod people from the chat anymore. I go to their channel and I take their channel link that guarantees me it's them. And then I say, hey, chat in the chat, bro. You should have a mod wrench now, Donnie. There you go, bro. Well, I know I don't need to, Donnie, but I want to. Listen, listen, Donnie. I've always had love for you, man. I've had love for lots of people. Some of us got caught up with some BS, right? And we've moved on, bro. I've always liked you, bro. There are many people I've liked on this platform. Stupid shit, right? Donnie, you know I've been doing my own thing for a while now, and you know I'm never going. So I'm not worried about it, bro. Welcome to the mod crew. I'm going to connect you with the mods behind the scenes, Donnie, to our private chat with Lord Gaelic, who's here right now, and some other people, and we're going to make these happen. Can we actually see the channel now in chat as they took this away? No, you cannot. I have a special plugin I pay a little bit of money for. I paid one time for it. This one guy created a plugin called the Go-To Channel Extension through Chrome. So it automatically highlights the channel name. I can click on it and it'll go to the channel. But no, it's not natively available through YouTube, the YouTube chat, or the app. And that's why I think they did it. But anyway, so let me finish up this story, and then I'll take my first break and come back and get those Reddit postings. We just had another disconnect. This was the second disconnect. Oh, well. I'll just deal with it. It's okay. Well, it went like half an hour without disconnecting, but something happened, and I think it has to do with my video. It's really weird. Whenever it does that disconnect, it's when my video is like stuttering. I'll have to figure out what's causing that. Now I'll just wait for the video to come back smooth. Just a second, folks. Yeah, I remember. You could do that back in the I Am a Creator days. Right. All right. Now back to being smooth again. Okay. So yeah, this woman was saying that, you know, she's tired of dealing with thirsty men. And you know, the last guy she dated, she realized was one of those guys that just wasn't motivated, wasn't making a lot of money, and wasn't trying to better himself. And I don't consider this woman a bad woman for not wanting to be with a guy that is not motivated to better himself, right? And like I said, able to barely afford your rent, right? So how in the world can you afford to date a woman and possibly marry a woman if you're only making that amount of money, right? And she just said she was with him for years, and she said that he just wasn't motivated to better himself. And I don't blame her. And guys, don't blame women for that, because women are going out there, they're bettering themselves, they're getting promotions, and they're doubling and tripling our incomes, right? Yeah, there's no excuse for that guy. It disconnected again. Man, I don't know what's been going on lately. It may be this version of OBS, but there have just been a lot of disconnects lately. I don't really know. But we're just going to keep moving forward here. I have it set to reconnect right away, so you'll see a splice on the replay or a short buffer if you're watching live. But It is what it is. All right. So, we were talking, and the conversation went so well. This woman she was married in her younger days. She has a couple kids. They've already moved out of the house. She lives by herself, has a couple of pets, and she's got free time to give to the right guy. What more can I ask for? You have got to better yourself, but sometimes you have to do what makes you happy. I agree, Donnie. I totally agree, bro. You're absolutely right. So everything went smooth with this woman, and she was just really feeling it, right? And I talked with her, and I said, you know what? I know that you're not going to be able to go hiking or do something major for a couple of weeks, but we can hang out some nights in the meantime. I'd like to meet you as soon as possible because this feels incredible, right? She said she's working until 9:30 tomorrow. I said, well, what if I come down and hang out with you for an hour? I'm not trying to pull anything funny. I just want to hang out with you and, see how it feels like to be around you in person. We can talk, maybe grab some dessert or something or whatever. She's totally cool with it, right? Then we got off the phone. And she sent me a text after we got off the phone. And she wrote back right after we got off the phone, that was nice. Great conversation. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. This woman has a high level of interest, right? I'm not even saying anything. She's chasing me. That's the way it should be, right? If a woman is chasing you, she's not dumping you, right? So I wrote, and she gave me the kiss emoji with the heart, right? I wrote back and I said, you are amazing. I wanted to give her some credit. She's been complimenting me like hell, so I gave her something, right? But not too much, right? So I wrote back, are you really strongly feeling this? She goes, yes, I am. Tonight blew my mind, she told me. Well, sweetheart, you continue behaving this way. You seem to be a good woman, come from a good family, great communication skills, and you're smoking hot too. My God. I'll show you at some point. I can already tell with this woman, if it gets to that point of intimacy, it's going to be fucking mind-blowing. I wrote, yeah, me too. I have that feeling that I wish I was there snuggling with you. You got to throw a little, snarky sexual thing, right? To, kind of just see how she reacts to it, right? She wrote back and said, "Aw, that's nice, but I got my doggies to take your place." So you know what I wrote back to her? I said, "Okay, guess you don't need me then, LOL," right? I go, let me ask you a few more things by text if that's cool before we go to sleep. Okay? She goes, yeah. And I just asked her, I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I asked her a few other things. And she wrote back and she says, I absolutely feel you. I said, are you really feeling this already at this point? Like, she goes, yeah, I absolutely feel you. Okay. Well, one of these days you'll be actually feeling me, ma'am. I'm not even going to say figuratively. I'm going to say literally. And then she sent me this book that her father gave her to read because she went to visit her parents recently. It's called The Daily Stoic, 366 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. Never heard of it, but I may just check it out. Okay. Yeah, so we're supposed to meet tomorrow. I'm going to, drive down. It's going to be almost an hour drive, like a 50-minute drive. And I'll update you folks what happens. I won't tell you who she is. I'm not going to get too intimate in this thing, but I'll update you, what happens. I mentioned this because if it's meant to be, it will be. The timing with her seems right. She's in a good place, has a good family, works, okay, is very communicative, is a very positive person, right? Her kids are out of the house. The timing is right. The chemistry between her and I was there, right? Now it's about the timing. Does she have time to date a guy? Okay, is she consumed with many other things? Or does she know how to balance her, work / personal life / other activities? Is she able to balance that out? And so far, so good. So we'll see what happens, right? All right. Hopefully the streaming server will be okay. It's back to rolling smoothly. All right, folks, I'm going to step away and take a quick break here, like 8 minutes or so. And when I get back, I have a couple of very interesting Reddit postings to go over regarding the topic. And the first one is, if you love them, let them go. If it's meant to be, it will come back. This is from the subreddit X No Contact. And then after that, before I wrap things up, I'll be going back to the subreddit dating. And with this topic, stuck with similar reasons why things don't work out. Need advice. Oh, that was you, Donnie, on Google Chat. Okay. You just got back to my message there. All right, cool, bro. All right. So let's cue up that royalty-free YouTube music. Just need a couple more here. I'm going to play Queen Helen Casey's song, but Queen's been pretty busy lately. I haven't seen her around lately. But that's all right. All right, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for about an 8 to 10 minute break or so, and we'll get to those Reddit postings when I get back. So stick around, round. We'll be right back. it.
Comes around one today. They don't
Then you have magic.
Two walk like two out the door.
Then you have magic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Check this out. Check this out. I'm going to turn off the chat for a second here to show you this amazing background. These are the eyes of the woman of the night. The woman of the night that's sitting there thinking about and dreaming about that very special man coming into her life, right? Beautiful, beautiful picture from pixabay.com. You can get royalty-free and free from copyright and free to use for commercial usage images. Unpaid endorsement, pixabay.com. All right, let's turn on the chat again and get right back to it. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Welcome back. Whoa, wait a minute. I got the music on too loud. Lower the music, Eli, so people can actually hear you clearly. All right, here we go. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Late Night with Coach Eli edition, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. We're also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. If you're on Facebook and D Live and you want more than just these live streams simulcast from the studio, if you want mobile live streams that I do on occasion, if you also want great pre-recorded videos that are going to be in 4K at 60 frames per second from here on out for the most part, unless I do one from the studio, okay, you're going to have to come over to YouTube. I'm also a monetized channel on YouTube, and I have a special members-only package for as little as $4.99 per month, or as much as $99.99 per month. All my membership packages get you the same thing. It's just up to you how much you want to sponsor the channel monthly. You will get access to members-only videos. I have 21 of those videos already done for members only, and I even have a couple of live stream replays that I have as a replay when I did these streams originally as a members-only live stream. All right. So that's that. We're back. Tonight, or this morning, we've been discussing if it's meant to be, it will be. Live by this phrase for success. One more time. If it's meant to be, it will be. Live by this phrase for success. If you're just joining us right now, you're going to want to go back and watch the replay of the first segment. I shared some great information. I shared an article on how China's government and their president are trying to make changes to help effeminate men, because the majority of their men apparently are not behaving masculine, and that's affecting their country, right? And it does affect things when the majority of men nowadays are acting more feminine than masculine, right? Yeah, it's happening here in the U.S. as well. It's happening in Canada. It's happening globally, right? And China's the first to step up and say, we got to do something about this, right? Because if we don't, what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen, right? Men and women are going to stop getting married. They're going to stop reproducing. And the population's going to start to decline. And then we're going to become extinct like dinosaurs. But there's more to it than just that, right? And I'm going to continue to follow that story, and any updates, I will bring that to you folks. So I shared that during the first part of the show. I also then shared a story about a woman I'm currently talking with. It seems to be going great. I'm going to be meeting up with her tomorrow. And I shared that because it seems like it's meant to be. If it's meant to be, it'll be. Like that song, if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. Right? Great song. Wish I could play it, but I'll get a copyright claim and get demonetized, right? So yeah, check out the first part of the show if you missed it on the replay. Now, let's get to those two Reddit postings here. And let's see. Let's go over to the browser source. This is from the subreddit X No Contact. And the original poster titled this, "If you love them, let them go. If it's meant to be, it will come back." One more time. If you love them, let them go. If it's meant to be, it will come back. let's read what the original poster said. This was written 4 months ago. It's fairly recent. Okay. If you love them, let them go. If it's meant, but you read that. At this point, all we can do is believe in cringe cliches and go through with no contact. That's if you are broken up with by someone, especially if it's a woman breaking up with a man. But women should do this too. You're supposed to just go no contact. If you want any chance of them ever coming back, if you even want them back, you have to give them time and space to figure it out on their own, right? I have no idea why you, whoever is reading this, broke up with your ex. Well, there are many reasons. When it comes to women, typically the reason is the guy's not man enough for them. The guy was not working on bettering himself. Other guys have come into her life that she perceives to have greater value, not just financially, but just with the man's drive altogether, right? But if you really believe they were the one and the love of your life, or your ex was that one unique person everyone gets per lifetime, then all you can do is let them go right now. That's what happened with my ex Dana, right? And you know what? If it was really meant to be with her, somehow we'll find our way back to each other down the road. I'm not counting on it. I've moved on. I'm dating other women. I've had another relationship since then. And I'm meeting another woman where this will probably go somewhere. I'm not trying to count my chickens before they hatch, but it seems to be going pretty good. But I'm not sitting around, waiting for, Dana to call me out of the blue and say, "Oh, I miss you. Let's see where this goes again," right? Give yourself time to heal, work on your flaws, and improve yourself. That's what I did after my relationship with Dana when it ended, because I honestly thought she was the one, and she's been the best girlfriend I've had. Period. I'm just being honest about it. And I worked on myself. I gained like 25, 30 pounds after that relationship. I immediately lost that weight within a couple of months or a month and a half or so. And I put myself back out there and dated a decent woman after that for a year, until she just got up and left. I shared that story last week on the stream. She got up and left and ghosted me and didn't even tell me why she, was leaving, right? Probably her ex came back in the picture, right? And she had a stronger emotional bond with him. And give your ex plenty of time as well to figure themselves out. No matter how much you want them now, there's probably nothing you can do to have them back as of right now. Yeah. Because if you try to get them back, you're going to push them away further and possibly even get a restraining order on you as well. You don't want to deal with that. Grow apart. Maybe you'll grow way too apart of ever thinking you need them again. Maybe your ex will get to that point as well. Perhaps both of you will find other people. Yeah, she's found other people, and so have I. But all you can do right now is give them more time. But more importantly, give yourself more time and truly mean the no contact instead of just telling yourself you're getting by. No contact means this, okay? If they try to friend zone you, say, "Look, I'm not interested in being friends. I only want something romantic." It'd be difficult being friends with you when we've been intimate for the last couple years and we spent all those great romantic times together. But you know what? You are the one that wants to change the terms of our relationship from romantic to friendship. Doesn't work for me, but hey, give me a call if you change your mind, right? And then you turn, you walk away, you never look back, you never call her, you never text her, you never email her. You forget about her existence. You do your very best, Of course, you don't forget these people, right? But you just leave her alone, right? Maybe a year from now, you'll cross paths again and both be totally different, independent people. And perhaps a new spark. Who knows? I like to believe in corny, cringe anime movies like Your Name, where both characters find each other years after. That said, just give yourself more time as of now. Whatever is meant to be is meant to be. I've reconnected with some past exes in the past, right? And I just, after I hung out with them for a little bit, I just felt like, I felt weird because they were the ones that broke up with me for really not the greatest reason, right? And now they want me back because, I've gotten older. I'm more mature. I take better. I'm not saying I didn't take care of myself when I was younger, but now I take even better care of myself, right? And that's attractive to women, right? But I still just couldn't let go of the past. And I was like, you know what? If it failed one time, it's going to fail again, right? But yeah, you never know what's going to happen, right? You never know what's going to happen. Let's get to the comments here. If it's meant to be, it will be. Even if there are mountains that set us apart, if both people are meant to be, they will meet again. I could not have said it better myself. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. That is true. Some guys think that they need to tactfully remind an ex-girlfriend that they're still around by sending a text every 6 months or an email every 6 months. No, that's not going to help your cause at all. Women need to come to their own realization that they miss you and they're thinking about you. It has to be their idea. If it's not their idea, it's never going to work. So, yeah, great comment there. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. Even if there are mountains that set us apart, even if you've moved far away from each other, like 5,000 miles away from each other in different countries. If it's meant to be, they'll think of you, they'll reach out to you, they'll find a way. You just go on with your life. I do, however, believe in the concept of star-crossed lovers. Sometimes you are meant to be, but only for a period of time. That's all. That's a short-term relationship. And I've been in those, right? I dated a woman that was going through a divorce. She was legally separated. And while we had great chemistry initially, great sexual chemistry, and she was a nice woman, and we got along well, right? After a year, I wasn't, and she got back on track. After a year, I wasn't her cup of tea anymore. And she found some other guy. And basically, she cheated on him or cheated on me with him and moved on. And I found out years down the road that they're now married and they've moved out of the area and they're living their life. Well, congratulations. More power to them. I don't appreciate being cheated on. But, that's how some things go sometimes, right? So, yeah, we were only meant to be together for that period of time of 1 year. And I'm not going to say it was all bad. I enjoyed most of the times I was with her. It just wasn't meant to be beyond that. You might enjoy an Of Black Mirror on Netflix, season 4, episode 4, which is set in a futuristic future, where relationships are predetermined by a computer and how long you'll be together and who you're going to end up with is decided by AI, which is artificial intelligence. It describes perfectly the concept you just described. You know what? If we're going to let AIs decide how long we're going to be with people and, stuff like that, it just becomes even more unnatural than it already has become, right? Dating and romance and all that has to be completely natural, okay? Really? Is there a link on YouTube? I really can't be subscribing for Netflix now. All right, let's see here. You really have to trust this process of no contact, even if I think you meant to say in the end, product isn't reconciliation of your relationship. It really is the only way, unless you want to waste your time, never heal or grow, right? Or get a restraining order on you, right? Or go to jail, right? For harassment, right? Yeah. You as a guy, and even women on the flip side, if it doesn't work out with someone, they don't want to be with you, you got to move forward. There are other people that are just waiting to be with you. You'll find them eventually. And once you get with that new person, you won't completely forget about your ex, but you'll be able to move on. Like with the last woman I was with, initially when I first got with her, I was still kind of missing my ex a little bit. But after being with this woman for a month or 2 or 3, it was really fun to be with her, and I enjoyed her company. And, I've moved past it, right? You got to find a way to just move past things, right? Get through it and don't think it's the end of the world, because it's not. It is day 3 of me not snooping on my ex today, and I'm having very strong urges to search her Instagram and her suspected new lover's Instagram and socials to get a taste of her life and to give into my jealousy, anger, and pain. We've all been like that. I'm not going to lie. I've been like that too. But I've gotten to the point right now in my life, I'm almost 48 years old. I don't have time to internet stalk people. That's not really stalking, unless you take it in the real life or you start to, comment on her stuff. But even just, trying to seek out information about who they're with, right? And trying to compare yourself to them, that's very unhealthy. It's going to set you back. Like, I don't even care. I mean, I'm not saying that, I don't care for the well-being of my exes, and what they've got. I'm just a considerate, caring person in general. But I don't care to know what they're doing anymore. I'm not like that. It's a waste of time and it's not healthy, right? But instead, I'm just noticing that I'm having these thoughts and feelings and telling myself that they're completely natural and I don't need to act on them. Right. It is a normal, natural feeling to have, right? You were broken up with, you're no longer with someone that you were emotionally attached to for maybe years, right? It's not easy to stop. It's not easy to stop doing something you were so used to doing and it became an integral part of your life. I get it, but you have to find a way to work through it and move on, or it's going to create lots of issues for you and set you back from, getting what you truly want with someone else, right? And it may even affect your job as well too, right? The only way I'm going to heal is if I let things go and stop continually opening the wound. Right. It is painful, but I believe it will get easier with time, but I have to stay resilient and notice when I'm in a vulnerable state. Bro, that was so beautifully stated. I'm going to give you a big round of applause. That was beautifully stated, brother. The way you wrote that leads me to believe that you're going to be able to work through this, man. Good call. Don't feed jealousy. It is like a plant. Feed it and it will grow. Right. I have nothing more to add to that. This cliche is pretty spot on, even though it is a cliche. Regardless of the outcome, by doing it, you are showing the maximum amount of love by giving them their final wish. Right. Okay? If a woman doesn't want to be with you, right? If she breaks up and doesn't want to be with you, okay? Then accept that. You don't have a choice but to accept that, right? And then just move on with your life. Better yourself. Go and date other women. And who knows? Maybe she's going to internet stalk you and see you with a woman that she perceives to be better than you. Maybe it'll make her jealous. Now, I don't suggest people try to internet stalk people and, get back with people out of jealousy, but it does happen. Move on with your life. Focus on yourself. Focus on moving forward, right? And if it was meant to be with an ex, it'll just, you both just find, your way back to each other if and when, that's meant to be. Okay? The confusing part is where you need to draw boundaries for yourself. They establish those boundaries and may renege on them or make them confusing to you, in which case you might tear down your boundaries. Self-respect is also loving. Self-respect is huge, right? If you have self-respect for yourself, right, okay, you're not going to sit there and try to beg a woman to come back, right? Because you're a man. You know your value. And just because she no longer sees value in you doesn't mean you're not valuable, and it doesn't mean that other people, other women won't see your value. Or for women, other men won't see your value, right? In which case, you might tear down your boundaries. Self-respect is also loving. I just read that. Just to yourself, and the most important love. I agree. Could not have said it better myself. And then look at down below. Couldn't have said this any better. Any better, 2 words, but it's okay. That was well said. Thank you for your post. This is why I pray that if and when he comes back, I will only welcome a relationship, not a friendship, with the condition that he and I go to therapy together. Otherwise, it will be a no-go. There should be no condition. There should be no condition. You can ask him if he's open to going to therapy, but you can't force him, right? If you're already thinking that you're going to have to go to therapy to get back with this guy, it's not even worth ever getting back with him, right? I think this is a woman here. Same. I have no idea why this didn't happen in the first place. We had even talked about how important therapy was. C'est la vie, right? Yeah. Move on. Thank you. I was crying again because I missed him, but you are right. Need to heal first after all the emotional trauma I went through. All right, I'm going to read one more, then I'm going to get to the next Reddit posting here before we go off the air. Sometimes when they come back, it hurts much worse than the second time around. I took back an ex after being 8 years apart. And we broke up recently, and the breakup hurt a lot worse the second time around because I was convinced we were going to do it right this time around, and it went in the complete opposite direction. Live and learn, I suppose. Well, you figure the second time around, like the song goes, second time around. You figure it's going to be better because you both learned from your mistakes. You've grown and matured a lot more, right? But just because you've grown and matured a lot more since the original relationship doesn't mean he has, right? I think this is a dude, though. It looks like a guy there. All right, one more. I keep crossing paths with my ex as she is my upstairs neighbor. Oh, that sucks, man. You live too close to her. She was the dumper, and I'm definitely still in love with her. The hard part was that every time we met, even after the breakup, we spoke for hours at the time. Yeah, I didn't even say at a time. And the mutual attraction felt high. Finally, I did something for myself and told her that we can't talk no more. After every conversation we had, my hopes of getting her back was high. Yeah, you were using that conversation. She friend zoned you, bro, and you accepted friendship, right? And you finally realized it's just not going to work, right? And then they faded until the next conversation. It was the roughest conversation I ever initiated, but after a few days, I realized that I finally did something for myself. Yeah. Now, the hard part is the weird look and hello she sends me whenever we see each other. Still don't know how to handle that. Well, dude, number one, if you live in a place where she's your upstairs neighbor, like an apartment complex, you either have to do one of two things. You have to either move or just be cool. And if you run into her and she says hi, just say hi, right? I mean, dude, sometimes you can't help avoiding. The best thing to do is to avoid any contact at all with the next. But if you can't avoid it because you work together or you live in the same building or nearby, just be cool. Just treat her like a stranger you would see at the market and you walk by, hey, how you doing today? Have a good day, right? And that's it. And go on with your day. Don't go out of your way to avoid her because that'll make you look really bad. But why would you want to go out of your way anyway? Just live your life, man. Live your life. And if you run into her and she waves, says hi, say, hey, how you doing? I got to run. Have a great day, right? That's all you have to say. All right. Let's get to the final posting here before we go off the air. We are at 1 hour and 32 minutes. We'll be going off the air in about 15 minutes. Let's see. It looks like Donnie Shaw says, yeah, remember you could do that back in the I'm a Creator day. Oh, yeah, I reread it. Sorry, there was another comment below. You have got to better yourself, and sometimes you have to do what makes you happy. Right. Absolutely, Donnie. Absolutely, man. All right, this is from the subreddit dating, and the original poster titles this "Stuck with Similar Reasons Why Things Don't Work Out. Need Advice." All right. Hi, I am a woman, been dating for a few years now, very self-sufficient professionally, and a very calm and reasonable person. Usually all breakups happen in the same routine format. Person is not feeling it and question about compatibility, and I am okay letting go even though I love the person, because one time I attempted to pursue it, ended up at the receiving end of emotional abuse, and have decided not do so ever. Man, that's a run-on sentence there. That's probably part of your issue. Like you just, you like, say too much too quickly, right? You got to space yourself out, especially when you're writing, but even when you're talking. We always have fun and talk about general stuff, have common activities we love, and rarely have any argument. Okay. So, where's the problem? But reoccurrence of similar outcome in all relationships makes me doubt if I am the common factor here and blind to the most basic thing, which might be taking relationships south. Man, maybe you're coming off as boring. Maybe you don't talk as much, and he does most of the talking. Like, if I'm getting to know a woman and she doesn't equally contribute to the conversation 50-50, say I'm doing 90 to 95% of the talking and she's only doing 5 to 10% of the talking, that's going to bore me and I'm going to be out. It has to be a natural thing. It sounds like to me you're more the quiet or shy type, right? Suggestion would be great since I have run out of answers. Thank you in advance. Let's see what the comments section says. You're saying you make no effort to pursue a person anymore? There's your answer. Where did she say that? She didn't say that. Oh, I love the person because one time I attempted to pursue it. It ended up at the receiving end of emotional abuse, and I've decided not to do so ever. Oh, there you go. That's the problem right there. This guy's right. There's your answer. Most likely the men you're dating sense that, interpret it as disinterest, and break up with you. And even if they don't interpret it as disinterest, there's something she's doing with her behavior to where she's not being herself. And she's probably heavily guarded because of what's happened in the past, with the emotional abuse. If you want to be involved in a meaningful, loving relationship, you're going to have to put more effort into being emotionally available. There we go. Let me read that one more time. If you want to be involved in a meaningful, loving relationship, you're going to have to put more effort into being emotionally available. Bingo! You hit the nail on the head. Big round of applause. I mean, I could stop reading this right now and I'd be satisfied, but there are only 12 comments, so let's try to get through all of them, okay? I do put effort into being emotionally available, okay, she wrote back, but I give them space after they have told me they do not find us compatible. It's because of how you're showing up or not showing up, man. It's the emotional availability. And you shouldn't have to put effort into being emotionally available. You either are or you aren't. I do discuss emotional stuff and give them opportunity to express and discuss, but I cannot persuade them to be with me if they do not want. Can I? Look, if you're with a guy, and especially early on or even at any time in a relationship, if you overwhelm him with too much emotional overload, that's going to turn us off. Doesn't matter how hot you are or how good of a person you are. It's just too much. Sounds like you're being too much, man. Okay? Since one time I tried, he hated me because he felt trapped and emotionally abused me every chance he got. No, man. Here's the thing. I think you're misinterpreting it as emotional abuse. Okay? He's probably trying to tell you that, you're being overly emotional to the point of where it doesn't feel natural being with you, right? Women are going to be naturally more emotional than men, but there's even a point for women where they're more emotional than their normal level of being emotional. right? And this is what's happening here. But she doesn't get it yet, right? So she's now thinking that this guy responding to her and saying that, hey, this is too much. She's calling it emotional abuse, right? This woman probably came from a broken household, probably didn't have the father in the picture. And while I'm in a relationship, I do put in effort to make time even when I have busy schedule due to new job. I plan hikes and ways to spend time with each other, make a conscious effort to make him feel comfortable and discuss our goals, dreams, about office. I think you meant to say, am I missing something? Not I am missing something. Man, what you're missing is the fact that you're not being yourself. You're being a robot. You're trying to force things, right? Okay? That's what's happening there. You should just be yourself, be natural. You make a conscious effort to make him feel comfortable and discuss our goals, dreams, about office. Why not just be yourself? Be cool. You're overthinking things, right? And you're going in there thinking that I got to do this, and this, or I know he's going to dump me like the other guy did. And the guy is picking it up. Smart dude, he's picking it up. And he's turned off. I'd be turned off by that behavior too, man. Oh, okay, I'm sorry for being presumptuous. Why are you apologizing to her, dude? You trying to get with her? She's wrong. If you're doing all that, then it just sounds like a case of not being ideal matches for each other. It's not about that. It's about she's basically coming off as emotionally unstable, or she's an emotionally overloaded person. She's just not behaving in a naturally healthy way, and it's turning the guy off. It's annoying him. It annoyed me too. Dating is a numbers game. It takes time. Keep putting yourself out there, and eventually you'll meet someone where it clicks for both of you. I know that sounds pitchy. So I know that sounds pithy, but it's reality. I mean, oh, dude, you don't know what you're talking about there, bro. This has nothing to do with dating being a numbers game. Yes, it is a numbers game, but even if you find the right person, if you keep behaving, if she keeps behaving the way she's been behaving with the emotional overload, right? And there's no guy that's going to put up with that. Even the beta males would get tired of that after a while. She writes back and says, thank you. I acknowledge what you said about it being numbers game, but it feels there needs to be a rational thought for throwing away something that's good or not chaotic. Also, it's emotionally very taxing. I'm correcting the grammar on the fly. For me to go through it again and again and hoping I could figure out why it happens. It's because of how you're showing up, ma'am, or not showing up. You're behaving overly emotional at a very unhealthy level. Thank you again for taking time and discussing. You're missing words. It's probably not your native language. It should be thank you again for taking the time and discussing this with me, or something like that. The same person that responded to her above, Spider Dog. I went on 4 dates with a guy. Oh, this is a woman, okay. I went on 4 dates with a guy who was sweet, kind, cute, and I enjoyed my time with him. But the entire time, I just didn't feel it. I kept going out with him because I wanted to, because he was put together and everything I really wanted in a person. Our last date, he kissed me, and it was like kissing my dad. I knew then and there it wasn't going to happen, so yeah, I ended it. He was probably sweet, kind, cute, but you know what? He was a beta man. There are sweet, kind, and cute beta mons, right? He wasn't manly enough for you. He didn't make you feel safe. He didn't make you feel comfortable, okay? He didn't make you feel like you could trust his masculine core. It has really nothing to do with you, most likely. Sometimes people just don't click romantically. ETA. About how far into things do these guys end it with you? Are you physically intimate with them? This is pretty good. It usually lasts for 6 to 8 months. It usually like 20 dates or a little more. Yes, I am physically intimate with them, and if I am reading them right, they are attracted to me physically. Yeah, there are many, many attractive women that have other issues, emotional issues or other issues. Just because they're attractive doesn't mean there's compatibility. There's sexual attraction, There's not a guy on the planet that wouldn't sleep with an attractive woman that wanted to sleep with him, right? But for a relationship to last, it's got to be, the other stuff has to be there. The mental and emotional and the spiritual have to be there, and it has to flow. It has to be real and not overwhelming, but not underwhelming either. Yeah, I mentioned it in a number of ways, but they do feel the thought of incompatibility from around fourth month because, man, after like 3 or 4 months, you're probably trying to lock these guys down and forcing them into a commitment, and maybe they're not ready yet. And typically, a good guy that's with a woman for the right reasons, and same thing with a woman. The woman will want to move things forward and make it official after a couple months, 2 to 3 months or so. And if the guy's not ready for it, at that point, you got to say, hey, well, I'm looking for something more committed. If you're not ready for that, let me know, because that's what I want, right? But they do feel the thought of incompatibility from around fourth month and do not communicate until it's too late. And during those last months too, there usually is no change in physical intimacy. That's because you're a cute woman and they probably don't have any other options for intimacy at that point. At that point, they're just using you for sex, man. It just confuses me as why they would not communicate the first time they feel it and not give me a chance to discuss or help. Because, man, you're giving them free sex and it's companionship, right? That's all it is. Oh, that's longer than I thought. Sounds pretty normal then. That's how relationships go, at least in my experience. No, that's a guy that's keeping a woman around, because she's cute enough to be intimate with him. And he's probably talking to other women in the meantime. And until that guy finds somebody to replace the consistent free sex he's getting, he's going to keep doing that, right? That's how relationships go, at least in my experience. You date, settle in. Once the initial excitement wears off, you really start to decide if this person is for you. And after a while, if you realize they aren't, then the relationship ends. It sucks, but it's a life. But it's life, The initial, excitement only wears off if you really aren't into the person. My ex, Dana, the excitement never wore off throughout the entire relationship because we truly were into each other. Now the original poster, there it is, OP, says, but would there be a logical reason as to why this person is not for you? There has to be a negative factor for it, right? The other woman goes, sure, maybe you guys have different goals in life. Maybe they met someone else. Maybe their life just isn't in a place for a relationship. There are all sorts of reasons why a relationship ends. Don't think of it so much as a negative thing. It sucks. Yes, I totally get that, but it happens. What do these people say to you when they end it? Simply that you're not compatible? Do they provide any specific reasons? No. They're not going to tell her that they were using her for just sex. Come on. Yeah, it's simply not compatible or they are not getting that feeling. I do ask them, was it something specific so that I can improve on? But 3 relationships in a row have been those responses and none of which I had even one conflict with the person. I am a very active person who is involved in dance lesson, paintings, and put them in very small gallery exhibit, hike, study, and work in tech. You sound a little introverted, man. Maybe you're a boring person. Maybe you're very, very introverted and you don't talk a lot. That turns me up about a woman when they don't talk at least half the time. I'm emotionally very stable and do not have mood swings and usually have a very calm response when the other person is frustrated. Since most things people get frustrated or angry about do not tick me off, it might be because I have had much worse situations to deal with early on in life and hence do not have similar feels of highs or lows which I have seen folks having. Man, run-on sentence. I am hoping I do not come off as robotic since I laugh a lot and make the other person laugh a lot too when we are together. I admit I do talk a lot sometimes. I am working on that. Talking a lot, talking too much is just as bad as talking very little. There you go. You just won't shut your mouth. Okay. That makes sense. It feels like lack of feedback and my inability to not understand why things go south depresses me a little. I am not getting younger anymore and fear that this would end up being story of my life, and this fear will further screw my dating life. Okay, and that's that. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, folks, we are at 1 hour and 48 minutes. Gonna go back to full screen and start wrapping things up. Lewis Fuller, thank you for being here earlier at the beginning of this show. Thank you to Lord Gaelic as well for being here. Sorry about that. I butchered your name, Lord Gaelic. And Donnie Shaw, great to reconnect with you, bro. I will reach out to you behind the scenes over the next few days. And I've got a lot of people that I need to reach out to, and they want to collab. I'd love to collab with you too, bro. I'm glad to see you're back and you're doing well, dude. And yeah, dude, if you ever need to talk behind the scenes, let me know, and I'll add you to our moderator crew group chat at some point tomorrow. All right, folks, we are at 1 hour and 49 minutes. We're about to wrap this up. It's going to be an hour and 50-minute show. Thank you to everyone for being here. With that being said, have yourselves a great, great, great day. I may see you later today. If not, I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Bye.